feel good coming off win off Chattanooga. So we're turning our focus towards Auburn.
Yeah, growing up in Alabama, how big is this Iron Bowl for you guys?
Growing up in Alabama, it's definitely a big deal. But I remember my earliest memory of it was elementary school, and everything we did was separated by Alabama, Auburn. You ate lunch with Alabama fans, ate lunch with us. So it's just looking back on that, it's a big deal. I know it affects a lot of people, so getting that win is a pretty big deal.
They had you sit in separate lunch tables?
I was sitting on the Alabama side. I mean, PE class was set up separated. It was just, I had my red wig on for Alabama, and Dad's old jacket. It was crazy, but yeah, it's a really big deal.
Was this teacher-sponsored separation? I mean, like, were y'all?
It's just you wore your Alabama stuff and you knew where to sit. It was just Alabama over here, Auburn over there, and it just went like that.
It's the whole week. Wig, though.
Was what?
You said you had a red wig
on. I had a red wig. I have a picture of it, but I'll put it on Twitter or something.
Who had more fans, Alabama or Auburn?
I feel like it was always Alabama, but I know in a lot of the PE stuff, I always try to pull my weight because it was like I was kind of pretty athletic. I was young, so it's always good to be on the Alabama side, but I was always winning.
Any smack talking on Monday following the game?
No, not in yet, but we'll see.
No, I'm not talking about back then. I was
no.
How many stories did your dad share with you about playing at this game?
He hadn't really told me many stories about it. He just told me it was always a tough game for him.
You were obviously pretty well versed with the Iron Bowl before you got to play in one. How did the experience of playing in one kind of stack up with what you thought it might be like?
I definitely think it's kind of when you go out there, you just can kind of feel it on the fields. It's that rivalry. Just makes you want to just play to your best. So just knowing that there's going to be a play in the game that people remember that for that whole year. That'll define the game.
It can be a little cliche to kind of say that the records don't matter, but when you go into the game like this, does that matter? Does that factor into anything?
No, it doesn't factor in at all. You already know you're going to get the other team's best performance just because of the rivalry. So I don't think really a factor matters. I mean, they got good players, we got good players. So I don't really think it matters. But that's just how football kind of goes with rivalry games.
It's been like 2.5 games since you guys have given up a touchdown. Just, do you see anything different in the defense since that moment? I guess since that touchdown against A&M?
I haven't seen anything different. We've been trying to get it done in practice first. Just get back to the basics, because the basics are what got us here.
This offense is difficult. They don't throw the ball much at all. I mean, how's it hard for you?
I've watched a couple games. I've seen them put it in the air a little bit, but I know they like to run the ball first. But if they can't get it going, they'll definitely throw. But they got some pretty good receivers on the outside too that can make some plays.
What's that discipline like to have to, stay on the guy constantly knowing that they likely won't throw it?
You just got to do your job. Be eye disciplined because, like I said, they got some pretty big threat receivers. They don't really throw that many short intermediate routes, but they're definitely big on the deep ball.
They obviously have several options at quarterback. They're not really settled right there going into this week even. Does that change anything for you as a defensive back? Does that, not knowing whether it's going to be Sean White or Franklin or Johnson?
Don't really change anything. I know they got the 3 quarterbacks that kind of all specialize in something different, but whoever they play won't really matter much for me because I'm just going to be guarding receiver, and so it won't really matter much for me.
Can you break down what you see differently about each of the quarterbacks?
John Franklin, I watched that little Last Chance U thing. That guy's pretty funny, but I know he's really fast. I saw a couple clips of him running. Sean White's a pretty good thrower, and then Jeremy's just a bigger guy that can kind of do a little bit of both, running and throwing. But I know Sean White has pretty good touch on the ball. Seems like he's a pretty good leader for their team, so I feel like he'll probably be the guy they'll go with.
They also do a lot of zone read like y'all. Does the practice, preparation that y'all been dealing with, Jalen and stuff like that, this offense, do you think that's prepared you for that a little better than previous years?
I think it's prepared us a lot better for it. Jalen's a very talented player, especially when he can run the ball and throw it. So I think just when we do good on good in practice, the few reps we get during the week, I think it definitely prepares us.
Does it give y'all a little extra pride knowing that it has been a month since someone scored against y'all?
I honestly didn't even know that was nobody scored on us, but I guess it don't really give us motivation. I don't even know, so I don't know. But I guess it does.
Does it even matter to y'all? Is it any less motivation knowing that you're already in the SEC championship game, and people say you could probably lose one of those games and still make the playoffs? Does that affect y'all at all, or do you just kind of ignore that?
I guess we ignore that talk. I don't think anybody. I didn't know. We're not really thinking about losing, to be honest. But I don't know, man. Losing really isn't something to even think about or playoff. We're kind of just focused on the next game.
Do you think your own offense could score against y'all?
Our offense is pretty good. Kevin would have something dialed up, I'm sure. But yeah, I guess it'd be a good little battle if we went off right now.
Well, what was going through your mind when you looked over and saw Ruben hurt for the game on Saturday?
I figured he'd be back in the game. If Ruben ever isn't on the field, he must be really, really hurt. That guy's tough as bricks. So it was a little weird seeing him down for a little second, but I was happy he was able to get back in.
Since the rotation with Eddie going down, how's Tony played and improved? I mean, is he more comfortable, I guess?
He's definitely getting more comfortable. And you hear him saying things, stepping into that leadership role, being on the field. That was a big loss for Eddie, but I think everybody's filled in pretty good since.
How does he compare to Minka in that spot at star?
Definitely really vocal. Minka's always usually giving me the call when I don't get it from the sideline and things like that, and Tony does the same. So I haven't really seen that we've even missed a beat with Eddie out. Maybe some interceptions that we haven't had, but everything else seems to be pretty good.
Given everything Tony's kind of gone through to get to this point and play, sitting on the bench for as long as he has, do you like seeing him kind of out there? Do you get some enjoyment out of that personally, not seeing him contribute the way he is?
Yeah, I definitely do enjoy that. It sucks he's out, but to see him on the sidelines and helping us out, coming to the meetings and things like that, and just still being that leader that he's always been. I definitely like seeing that.
I was more referring to Tony. I'm sorry.
Oh, talking about Tony?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Him being out there is always good. Like I said, he's a pretty vocal guy, and as he's took on that role, he's become more and more vocal. So it's definitely a good thing to see that. Hear Tony Brown again out there, so it's always good.
Thanks.